here's a quick video of the geometry. I have the back wheels lined up, so I can already see, which is good, because this one was very short. I got a slightly longer wheelbase, not much, but slightly. It's not translating the video. Yeah, you can see that. What would that be like? 3/4 of an inch more. The head tube angle is a lot more rake to it. Is that translating to the video? Yeah, somewhat. Alright, yeah, you can see it there. Yep. Now, the other thing is, if you remember how we used to do our BMX bicycles when we were children, that's a very long seat post in there. So, there should be, enough to go in here and, obviously rock it maxed out like we used to put them when we were young, up very high. I do have the back axles lined up there. They're lined up, so the bottom bracket, I think, yeah, is much lower to the ground. I'm putting 170s on this, so I'm going to put a single gear in the front. I'm going to put a 42 tooth gear in the front, which I already figured it out, and the way I've got it aligned, using the spacers and stuff, and I use the straight edge and my eye to gauge it out. It's going to land right in this middle gear here, so I'll have three more down and 2 more up, which is just about right. And also with the 42 tooth, that should put it in like an old traditional BMX gearing, like what would be 44/16. But what is that, an 18 tooth or a 17 tooth? So 42/17 or 42/18, whatever it is. I didn't count the teeth on that one, but that's what will happen there. The only thing I am concerned about is this rack here, because let's see, I don't know. See, that's where my mounts are on this one. Yeah, see, I'm going to mount it to the back, or I want to mount it to the back one, so that I get no heel strike on the saddlebags. Obviously, I took the saddlebags off so I could see this, but I'm wondering, underneath here, do I have any left? Or is that maximum? I can't see it. What? How is that going to fare? It's a long way to the mounts. That's the only thing I don't know. I am leaving this slick on here, but it's going to be a while because I have no money. So when I have money, I'll finish it. But there it is. There's the comparison. Nick suggested that I should pull the parts off of the white bike and put them on this bike. I'm honestly thinking about it because this one is much lighter. That's a much heavier frame. But I do like the steel frames because they flex, when I'm riding, especially if I'm using big, wide, tall BMX bars like that. The frame actually has flex to it, which is, I think, takes out some fatigue when I'm stroking heavily, I would think. Anyway, that's it. That's the comparison. Let's see. I'm going to get that seat tube angle in there better. Yeah, see, it's going to work out to be almost the same. I don't know. I was thinking, the only other thing I was thinking for here was I might want a longer block. And these are the old quill type. See, this is a short block. I'm going to do the same thing. Drill the cable. Drill the cable into here. You know, whoops. Smaller hole in the bottom so the cable comes out. See, larger hole in the top. But I was thinking a longer block for that one, so it comes out a little further. But I don't know. Maybe Nick is right. Maybe I should just swap parts and go for it. But the whole goal was to have, you know, 2 bicycles, one for grocery shopping and one for zipping around. But I've gotten to the point where I always want to have a rack on a bicycle now. Well, here's the deal. I have a really inexpensive chain, a $9 steel gear. I hope it's not extremely heavy. And an inexpensive chain, a $7 chain, supposed to be sufficient. I'll hook this up, and maybe I will throw some bars on it. I'll throw some of the junk, but you know, they're not junk, but you know, short mountain bike bars on it, and paddle around and see how the gearing works. And if I like the way the whole thing feels, you know, even without a seat, I'll ride it around. Then maybe Nick's right. Just switch it out until I get the money to fix up the other one. But you know, I'm funny about pulling apart a functional bicycle. I don't like to pull apart a functional bicycle. Well, that's about it. This is going to be a round gear on this one. These ovalized gears are nice for sitting down and stroking, but I don't like it. It's a very irregular feel. It does this, you know, to my, what do they call that? The cadence? Yeah, it does that, and it also seems to create fatigue, especially when I'm standing up and pedaling, because I'm not getting that circular feel. I'm getting like a drop and a hop like that, and I don't like that feeling. Yeah, that's these cranks here. They're oval, but they're very nice cranks. I just not particularly fond of the oval. I did give it an honest try. I'd like to compare it to circular cranks. I think I would like that better. But anyway, there it is. Slightly longer wheelbase by about 3/4 of an inch. Slightly more rake to the head tube, which is leading me to believe I might want a longer stem block. And lower bottom bracket, which is lower center of gravity, which is nice for touring around town. I can, you know, hands-free. It's going to have a lower center of gravity. I've never ridden a small slick like that. Well, maybe on an old 10-speed, but not in a long time. And the seat, yeah, I mean, it looks much taller because of the angle of the camera here, but that seat tube is very long. I mean, that seat post is very long. It should work out to be about the same, and that's a 4130 chromoly. You know, this is not going to bend. It's very heavy. It's actually heavy, physically heavy. So, alright, there it is. Hope you enjoyed my sharing my project, trying different frame geometries, vintage bicycles. I don't call them vintage, they're not that old, but older bicycles.